Okay, this is April 16, Sunday, 2023, and we are in BBA section B class. And we have been reading essays under the theme of philosophy. We began with Plato, and we read about how we can know what is truth, and how we can know if something is true or false. Then in Karl Marx, we read about how we can create a good society through equality. And we read about how Karl Marx argues that if the communists win, then they will establish a society that will be a class-less society. And this is where Plato and Karl Marx come together. Because Plato says that he wants to establish a society that is perfect. Good society. Just society. And Karl Marx imagines a philosopher king. Marx imagines philosopher king, right? Sorry, Plato. Plato imagines philosopher king for his perfect country, perfect rule. And Karl Marx seems like giving a solution to Plato. If Marx and Plato were sitting together as friends and talking, then Plato would tell this problem to Marx probably, saying that I want to create a society that is perfect, right? And Marx would give him a solution that you can create a society that is perfect if there is no class antagonism, no exploitation, no inequality, right? So then we read third text by Friedrich Nietzsche, Apollonianism and Dionysianism. And we saw how Friedrich Nietzsche also talks about, let's say, good society, huh? Because Nietzsche tells how we can ensure that an individual is good. An individual, as Nietzsche says, an individual says that an individual has two forces, right? The destructive force and the constructive force. And he says that if you can strike a balance between the two forces, then you become very healthy psychologically. And if we have all healthy people in society, no doubt we'll have a better society. So in a sense, Nietzsche is also trying to tell us, Nietzsche is telling us how we can have better society. We can have better society if we have better people. And who are better people? Healthy people. And Nietzsche not only, he says that this force, this dualism between good and bad, Apollo and Dionysius, or let's not say good and bad, let's say individuality and collectivity. If you can strike a balance, you have a better civilization. You have a better civilization. You have better society. You have better art. And you have better individuals. So do you see all the three writers, Plato, Marx, as well as Nietzsche, their writings revolve around the central theme of life. Life and its aspects. So philosophy is a genre that focuses on life and its aspect. What is truth? This is related to life. What is goodness? It's about life. What is exploitation? It's about life. What is class war? It's about life. What is class antagonism? It's about life. What is destruction? What is creation? It's about life. So all the three essays by Plato, Marx, and Nietzsche, they focus on life. Now we have the fourth essay. We have the fourth essay by Albert Camus. The myth of Sisyphus. I will pick up a line. I will pick up a line and write here. Man's condition in a world without meaning. A world whose values were self-created, or at least community created, a world in which many people do things as repetitive and as meaningless as what Sisyphus must do. Okay. So if you ask a question, what is this essay about? Simple question. In the first essay, what is Plato's dialogue about? Plato's dialogue is about truth and whether we can know the truth and good society. What is Karl Marx's manifesto about? Karl Marx's manifesto is about the history of society and class struggle and how this class struggle will lead to the establishment of communism, a classless society. What is Friedrich Nietzsche's essay about? Friedrich Nietzsche's essay is about two dual elements, the Apollonian and the Dionysian, which represent creative force and destructive force, and how a balance of these two opposing forces can create better civilization, better society, better art, better music, and better individual. Now ask a question. What is Albert Camus' essay about? And here we have the answer. Camus' essay the myth of Sisyphus, is about man's condition in a world without meaning. This essay is about man's condition in a world without meaning. Keep in mind that this essay was written in 1942 and World War started in 1939. World War started in 1939 and it ended in 1945. World War, Second World War. Second. The First World War started in 1914 and ended in 1918. Right? First World War. And when was Camus born? Camus was born in 1913 and died in 1960. So Camus was 1 year old when the First World War took. And if you see his father, as we read, I guess, took part in First World War. So I was reading the line, this essay is about man's condition in a world without meaning. To understand this sentence, you must know the situation in which this essay was written, or the situation in which this author was surviving. What was the situation? Second World War was going on. Second World War was going on. And as a result of war, एउटा कुरा मैले बुझ्न नसकेको, बारम्बार बुझ्न खोजेको, अघि उता पनि त्यस्तै भयो, यता पनि त्यस्तै भयो। म क्यामेरा कुरा गर्छु, नेपालीमा बोल्छु ताकि यो भिडियो हेर्ने मान्छे पनि सजिलै बुझोस् के भइरहेछ एजुकेसन भनेर। मैले केही कुरा त्यहाँ लेखेँ हैन। मैले प्लेटोबाट सुरु गरेँ, ब्रिफली प्लेटोमा यस्तो कुरा छ भने, मार्क्समा यस्तो कुरा छ भने, नित्सेले यस्तो भन्छ भने, अनि त्यहाँबाट कामुमा आइपुगेँ, जोड्दै जोड्दै ल्याएँ, यी सबैले लाइफबारे बोल्छन् भने, अनि कामुको एसेमा के छ भनेर एउटा किताबबाट प्याराग्राफ लेखेँ, एउटा सेगमेन्टलाई अन्डरलाइन गरेँ, अनि यो यसको बारेमा हो भने अनि त्यसलाई बुझाउनलाई त्यहाँ एरो तानेर चाहिँ यस्तो मिनिङलेसनेस किन भइरहेछ, किन भयो त भनेर त्यहाँ लेख्दैछु। टिचरले व्हाइट बोर्डमा यस्तो कुरा बुझाउन खोजिरहँदाखेरि यता के भइरहेछ त लर्नरमा विद्यार्थी भन्दाखेरि धेरै विद्यार्थीहरू एक आपस बोलिराख्नु भएको छ, गफ गरिराख्नु भएको छ, उहाँहरू आफ्नै टकमा हुनुहुन्छ। अर्थात् उहाँलाई चाहिँ मैले के गरिरहेको छु भन्ने कुरासँग सरोकार छैन, देखिँदैन होइन। मैले त्यहाँ के लेखेँ, मैले के भन्न खोजिरहेको छु, अर्थात् विद्यार्थीले चाहिँ टिचरले भनेको कुरालाई फोकस गरेर सुन्न सकेन। अनि मैले बुझ्न चाहेको कुरा यस्तो प्रब्लम क्लासमा किन भइरहेछ, यो प्रब्लम चाहिँ मैले रिसेन्ट इयरमा बढ्दै गएको देखिरहेको छु। मैले पढाउन लागेको 32 वर्ष भयो, ठ्याक्कै 32 वर्ष भयो क्लासमै पढाउन लागेको। रिसेन्ट इयरमा चाहिँ विद्यार्थीले टिचरका कुराहरूलाई फोकस गर्न नसक्ने, अघि उता पनि यस्तै भयो होइन। केही कुरा बुझाउनु खोज्यो अनि नोइज सुरु हुन्छ, अनि त्यसपछि विद्यार्थीले सुन्दैन, टिचरले आएर यता बोल्नु पर्छ, त रोके त अहिले यता बोलिरहेको छु नि। धेरै विद्यार्थीहरू जस्तो म 2 जना हुनुहुन्छ फर इक्जाम्पल। कतिपय विद्यार्थीहरू चाहिँ क्लाससँग कनेक्ट हुँदैन कि, त्यो विद्यार्थी क्लाससँग कनेक्ट हुँदैन, के टपिकमा पढाइ भइरहेछ, के गरिरहेछ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ जोडिँदैन। मैले जान्न खोजेको यस्तो किन हुन्छ भन्नुहोस्, भन्दैछु। Man's condition in a world, त्यो नबुझिकन लेखेर के अर्थ छैन, सारेर केही पनि हुँदैन। के हुन्छ सार, केही हुँदैन। In a world without meaning, and I was talking why the world was without meaning. What brings meaning? See, if you read earlier, अघि निश्चयको essay पढ्दै अस्ति last time, what did you read? Life has meaning when Nietzsche says life has meaning when you have sense of purpose. Life has meaning when you have sense of purpose. Right? And Nietzsche also said you can enjoy life when you have self-control, self-understanding, and self-domination. Self-understanding, self-domination, self-control, and purpose of life. Now, the world becomes meaningless because you lose purpose of life, because you have no control over the situation, and you fail to understand why things are happening the way they are happening. किन यस्तो हुन्छ? Why there is no purpose? Why we fail to understand? किन यस्तो भइरहेछ? Because this essay was written in the middle of Second World War. In the middle of Second War, कल्पना गर्नुहोस् न, हामी पढिरहेका छौँ र नेपालीले वारमा छ, क्लास हुँदाहुँदै यहाँ वार प्लेन फ्लाइ गर्छ, अलि पर बम खस्छ, हामी पढिरहेका छौँ, हामीलाई डर लाग्छ यहाँ माथि खस्ने हो कि भन्ने हुन्छ। जस्ट इमेजिन गर्नुहोस् त, अनि के हुन्छ? क्यान यु स्टडी? क्यान यु स्टडी? यु कान्ट स्टडी। किन? वाइ यु कान्ट स्टडी? बिकज you have fear of death, you have fear of dying. एउटा स्टोरी सुनाउँछु यो कुरा बुझ्नलाई। Vietnam War. Have you heard about Vietnam War? Yes, sir. इट्स अ वार बिट्विन अमेरिका एन्ड भियतनाम। के भयो भने भियतनाम वारमा अमेरिकन पाइलट्स वर अट्याकिङ भियतनाम सिटिज। अनि एकचोटि आकाशमा अमेरिकन प्लेनहरू उड्न थाल्यो, तल चाहिँ वार्निङ इस्यु भयो। वार्निङ के, अब अट्याक हुन्छ, सेल्टरमा जाऊ भनेर। अनि गाउँको एउटा बन्च पिपल के सोच्यो भने टेम्पलमा गयो भने टेम्पलमा चाहिँ बम ड्रप गर्दैन होला भनेर बन्च अफ पिपल, बच्चा बच्ची, केटाकेटी टेम्पलमा गयो लुक्न। टेम्पलमा, मन्दिरमा माथिबाट पाइलटले विमेन र चिल्ड्रेन टेम्पलमा गएको देखेर जान टेम्पलमाथि बम खसालिदियो। टेम्पल पनि ध्वस्त भयो। अनि त्यो बमको नाम अहिले मैले ठ्याक्कै आएर त त्यो बमले के गर्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि त्यो केमिकल हुँदो त्यसमा, केमिकल। त्यसले छोएपछि पुरै छाला डढेर बाहिर निस्किने, पुरै छालै पिलअप हुने के। अनि 11 वर्षको एउटा बच्ची माथि खस्यो। त्यो खस्दा साथ यहाँबाट पुरै छाला पग्लिएर तल गयो। अनि वरिपरिको रेस्क्यु गर्ने मान्छेले तुरुन्तै लुगा फुकाइदियो केटीको। अब लुगामा टाँस्यो नि त छाला त। अनि पुरै लुगा फुकाएपछि केटी नाङ्गै भयो। 11 वर्षपछि अगाडि लुगा छैन। अनि हात यस्तो गरेर बचाउ गरेर दौडिरहेछ केटी। अनि तल ग्राउन्डमा एउटा पत्रकारले क्यामेरा लिएर त्यो भियतनाम वारको रिपोर्टिङ गरिरहेको थियो। उसले त अगाडिबाट यसरी हात फैलाएर बचाउ गरेको नाङ्गो फोटो छाप्यो, निकाल्यो, क्लिक गर्यो। र त्यसको नेक्स्ट डे भोलिपल्ट लुक अमेरिकाले यहाँ के गरिरहेछ भनेर पब्लिस भयो। त्यो फोटो पब्लिस भयो। त्यो फोटो भोलिपल्ट पब्लिस भई संसारको तल्का मचियो के अमेरिकाले भियतनाममा बच्चाले मारिरहेछ भनेर। अब कल्पना गर्नुहोस् त, 11 यो रियल घटना हो। 11 वर्षको बच्ची प्लस अरू बच्चीहरू आकाशमा प्लेन उडिरहेछ, बम खसालिरहेछ। अनि उनको मनमा चाहिँ गडको टेम्पलमा गयो भने बचिन्छ भन्ने भयो नि त। गड क्यान सेभ अस भन्ने भयो नि त। अनि कहाँ गयो लुक्न? टेम्पलमा। अनि टेम्पलमै बम खस्यो। कुड गड सेभ देम? उनीहरूलाई लाग्यो ओ गडले त बचाउँदो रहेछ। गड क्यान नट सेभ यु। अब when you believe, when you start feeling even God cannot save you, then you conclude that nobody can save you. If God cannot save you, nobody can save you. When you have this feeling that nobody can save you, you lose all meaning in life. You lose all meaning in life. अहिले तपाईँलाई के छ जुन कुरा मलाई छैन, तपाईँलाई छ के? केही भयो टेंशन नहीं लेने का, डैडी को फोन करने का और बता देने का, डैडी विल कम, राइट? मलाई के छ? आई टेक केयर ऑफ माई डैडी, ही इज 90. आई कांट कॉल माई डैडी एंड टेल आई हैव दिस टेंशन. पॉइंट के हो? You have someone to hold on. You have someone to hold on. Your father, for example. So your life has meaning. When you have no one to hold on, when you have nothing to hold on, you start feeling that your life has no meaning. And the moment you start feeling that your life has no meaning, you start having the thoughts of committing suicide. You start having the thoughts of committing suicide. अहिले दिउँसो टाइम भ्यायो भने गुगलमा जानुस् र बिङमा जानुस्, एजको सर्चमा, र के भन्नुहोस् भने गिभ मी अ रियल सुसाइड नोट भन्नुहोस्। गिभ मी अ रियल सुसाइड नोट, र बिङले दिन्छ ल्याएर, नेटमा त हुन्छ नि सुसाइड नोट त। अनि पढ्नुहोस्, रियल नोट पढ्नुहोस् कि सुसाइड गर्ने मान्छेले के रिजन दिन्छ। And you will see most of the time people who commit suicide, they write, I am tired of life. They write, I am tired of life. They say, my life is too difficult to survive. They say, अब जीवन देखि के भयो, they talk about जीवन. So people commit suicide because they can't handle life situation. They can't handle life situation. And Camus is saying that during Second World War, the situation of man was so complex because of war. Because of war, what is happening? During war, weakened authority, nobody obeys anybody. There are soldiers only. Only you obey the gun. Bullets are flying past 20 years and you don't know when you get killed. During war, there is doubt and uncertainty because you go to temple for protection and you get killed. During war, human values get lost because an 11-year innocent, armless child, girl gets killed knowingly. अनि यो कथाको अर्को पार्ट मलाई थाहै छैन. त्यो पत्रिकामा त्यो 11 वर्षको नानीको जलेको शरीर ताजा र हात यस्तो गर्दै बचाउ बचाउ गरेको फोटो छापिएपछि त्यो पाइलटले फोटो देख्यो र उसले थाहा पायो कि मैले बम खसालेपछि के भएछ. And that pilot lost his mental control. He became mad. र कति वर्षसम्म that pilot thought of committing suicide. अनि धेरै 20 वर्षपछि लाग्छ यो स्टोरी पढ्नमा स्योर छैन. त्यो नानी हुर्कियो, उपचार भयो, निको भयो. निको त के हुन्छ डढेको शरीर. She became 30. अनि सिङ्गापुरमा इन्टरनेसनल ट्रुथ एन्ड रिकन्सिलिएसन भयो. अनि ठुलो ग्यादरिङमा चाहिँ पाइलटलाई स्टेजमा बोलाइयो, केटीलाई बोलाइयो, कुराकानी भयो. युट्युबमा भिडियो पनि होला, हेर्नु होला. अनि त्यो इन्टरभ्यूमा चाहिँ त्यो केटीले त्यो पाइलटलाई माफ गर्यो कि पाइलटले माफीमा आयो. केटीले माफी दिएपछि त पाइलटको दिमाग ठिक ठाउँमा आएन. सायद उसले सुसाइड गर्यो कि मलाई क्लियर छैन. त्यो पाइलट जसले बम खसाल्यो उसलाई के भयो स्टोरी नेटमा फलो गर्नुहोस् र पढ्नुहोस्. यो स्टोरी रिडर्स डाइजेस्ट पत्रिकामा 1981 तिर छापिएको थियो र मैले फर्स्ट टाइम पढेको पनि म्यागजिनमा हो. मलाई थाहा थिएन कुरा, आई डिडन्ट नो. अलिकति याद छ, म ट्रेनमा थिएँ, स्टेसन बाहिर पत्रिका थियो अनि मेरो त्यो बेला पढ्ने बानी थियो. मैले किनेँ, यो स्टोरी छ बार होइन, किनेँ. अनि कभर पेजमै थियो. यो कभर पेजमा यस्तो गरेको छ, तपाईँ युट्युबमा गएर गुगलमा रिडर्स डाइजेस्ट कभर पेज विथ द भियतनामिज गर्ल अट्याक्ड बाई अमेरिकन पाइलट भनेर हान्नुहोस्, त्यो कभर पेजै आउँछ. यो सक्ट यस्तो गरेको छ कि 11 वर्षको बच्ची छ, नाङ्गै छ, पुरा शरीर डढिरहेको छ, दौडिरहेको छ. आई रेड द स्टोरी. म कति वर्षको थिएँ त्यो बेलामा? आई वाज 12 years old. एन्ड आई कुड आइडेन्टिफाई कि म यस्तै रहेछ भनेर. राइट. म यो सबै कथा तपाईँलाई किन बताइरहेको छु? टु टेल यु हाउ लाइफ बिकम्स मिनिङलेस ड्युरिङ वार. Remember what happened in the Second World War? 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And about 1 million people, about 1 million innocent Japanese were killed within second on the spot. त्यो जापानी सहरमा अरूले बिहानै खसालेको बम, बिहानै खसालेको, कोही उठेकै थिएन, मान्छे सुतिरहेको थियो. अर्ली मर्निङ खसालेको, अर्ली मर्निङ. त्यो सुतेको मान्छेले के गल्ती गरेको थियो डराउनु पर्ने उनीहरूलाई? 10 लाख मान्छे, दे हेड नो वार्म, यो सब विपन थिएन. लडाइँमा इनोसेन्ट सिटिजनलाई मारेको. सो वारले के गर्छ? वार इज फ्युटाइल. वार इज फ्युटाइल बिकज it brings you nothing but destruction. War brings you nothing but destruction. Any kind of war, war is always destructive. त्यसैको logic दिनुस्. War is never good. Right? And this essay was written during war. Moreover, if you see Camus' personal life, Camus had tuberculosis. He was very unhealthy person. It was untreated. He was physically ill. physically ill, TB भएको मान्छे, and he was jobless. He was jobless. He became journalist, and during war, he began to meditate about man's condition. यहाँ word थप्पौ, के थप्पौ? Modern man's condition. So this essay is about modern man's condition, and this essay applies even upon you. But तपाईलाई म Sisyphus देख्छु. You are Sisyphus. Who is a Sisyphus? Simple कुरा. Sisyphus is an absurd hero. What is absurd? Absurd is when logic doesn't work, reasoning fails, values fail, when there is meaninglessness. Absurd is when you do futile things. You are doing something and you see no purpose in it. You see no purpose. Okay. So, I said this essay is about life. I said this essay is about life. And I said it's about man's life, human life. And I said that it's about life without meaning. And the question that this essay seems to answer is, this essay answers a question. What? What should we do? What should we do when we start feeling that our life has no meaning? This is the question this essay answers. What should we do when we start feeling that our life has no meaning?